repeat how important this game is for both sides. Misfits Gaming is on a 7-game winning streak, which if they win versus Vitality today, they will do better than the best winning streak the organization has ever had, which was in spring 2017, and they will want to get that record on the other side. Team Vitality, who won their game yesterday, would make a huge statement by taking down the #1 team. And Yamada also tweeted out some banter already that they are the actual best team in Europe. So we'll see. And we'll also see what they decide to go for. No surprises yet. Yes, Aatrox is banned. We just saw him for a couple of games, and we were really surprised at how he was let through the ranks. But no surprises so far. A bit of a funnel ban there. The Braum is off the table, but Vitality hasn't really played that much. They have a lot of options.
Right, and these junglers also agreed if they're going to stick to their word that they're not going to be playing the funnel comp in that segment with Medic. What Misfits are really doing is focusing down this bottom lane and limiting some of those champion picks. And with an all-star Braum banned, if we're going to see a playmaker for Jactroll, I'm looking at the Pyke myself.
I was just about to say, I feel like Rakan becomes super high priority for Misfits, just because when you ban away things like Braum and Alistair, who are two big answers to the support, and it's also one of Mickey's big comforts, you would want to lock it in early. But now we see that both Taliyah and Nocturne are also locked in. But how much priority do you have on these two junglers in the current meta?
I think Nocturne is definitely the strongest one. Well, I think
but Maxlore likes that Taliyah.
The value that Taliyah has is that you can flex her. But generally speaking, most teams will just lock in Zoe Nocturne right here. And they both have like really good matchup into Taliyah. At least like levels 1 till 6, jungle Nocturne won't like out-pressure Taliyah jungle, and she'll like get to do stuff. But as soon as you hit 6, there's so much kill pressure on Taliyah that as soon as she shows up on the map, you're like, she has to be scared. So I feel like kind of
I love it from both sides. I love it from both sides.
I just don't see, like, maybe they're scared if they first pick Zoe that they go, I mean, it's tough because if you first take away the Zoe, for example, they would go Taliyah, Nocturne, and just put Taliyah mid. But then the matchup mid is at least good.
Right.
Whereas right now, I feel like you have bad matchup no matter where Taliyah goes, unless you play like AD carry.
Ooh, so this Galio is so super, because in my head, I was thinking that they would have gone for some kind of like AD mid or something, because you're already pitting King pretty heavy AP in the jungle. But the fact that they drafted Galio, do you think they're kind of looking at a Camille potentially now? Maybe move the Taliyah down bot?
I don't think they're going to play Taliyah bot. I think Hansama is generally going to play the AD carry, but that's also where the AD damage is coming from. They're going to probably just lock her in here. So here's where like some of the AD damage is again mixed AP, so they might be looking at like a Jarvan top. Like we play this as well. Like
that's fair.
A Jarvan
like,
Galio.
Yeah, it's just a solid bruiser. They're decent against Zoe together, but like the biggest problem I have is that Paranoia is really good against Galio because he can't reactively ult.
Yeah.
So he has to basically ult first, and if Nocturne decides to go on the hero's entrance, he's kind of trolling. So I feel like
that's a fantastic point, and they picked it after, so they must be confident that they can pull off the coordination.
Yeah, well, I think it's more like they're just betting on going first.
Yeah.
So like when you're going first, and Nocturne has to jump, like you know what I mean? Like he has to basically find someone off the side, but Kai'Sa's really good at diving in with you. So like you can imagine a situation where, well, I hopefully see Vitality ban Jarvan here, because I think that would like wrap up the comp and put a lot of pressure on Swain and Zoe.
And Mundo is out there as well, obviously incredibly strong in that top lane.
Sure, but the thing I have about Mundo here is I don't think he does anything specific for Misfits. He's just a good champion. He has no synergy with the rest of the kit.
But like they wouldn't have picked him.
He has no synergy, and Rakan's already off the table, so I really want to see him pick engage. Because if they don't have any engage, well, they're just 5 good champions looking at each other, and Zoe is just poking them off one by one. So I feel like that's a big deal when you give up Zoe, is that you have to make sure you get an initiation, which is why Zoe and Nocturne get traded back and forth a lot. Because you need to be able to go on the Zoe, and Nocturne is obviously one of the best champions in the game to reliably do this. So the fact that they banned Mundo, I feel is just like they're banning a good champion, but I think they should be targeting the engage, and we see it here.
There we go,
ban.
so they heard you.
Yeah, that's good. So like, there's still Camille as an option top, but she's not really a great blind pick, and you know, I know Cabochard like likes to pick a few dirty counter picks. So we'll see what happens there, but I like the fact that they at least respect the Jarvan. I'd like to see. Well, it's hard to say really. Like the Gragas is good for Misfits because it's a lot of initiation, but then they're full AP. So Zoe can reliably just get the Banshees and just be stacking Amara.
Andrew had his hand up, but do you have an idea?
Oh, I'm looking to the other side on Vitality because I already brought up the Pyke, and I know that Vitality loves Swain Pyke in the bottom lane. Heavy kill lane, lots of CC, especially to shut down something like a Kai'Sa. And I actually think it was a mistake that Misfits didn't ban that away.
You're also guaranteeing counterpick for top side on the side of Vitality too, because if you lock in the Pyke now, you then give Cabo the freedom to answer whatever Misfits.
I actually feel like picking Pyke here would be pretty bad. I think it's really bad. You go Morgana, Kai'Sa, and I think you have a really fine lane. You outscale like for the rest of the game. Generally speaking, Swain has a pretty hard time. Yeah, I like blind picking the top laner here a lot more, taking another initiation tool away, which is pretty good. It's probably going to be matched with the Gragas, and they're going to try and get some initiation on support, I can imagine, but with Rakan and Alistar off the table, you really only have Pyke, unless he's like trying to pull off a Thresh here, which is it's pretty crazy, but you know what? Let's engage, you know, you can get in there.
So with Ornn, they have a magnificent engage, and then they also have the Nocturne, so I think they're pretty good on that front for Vitality. They will have all the tools to start the fights, but as said, we're looking at Misfits. How are they gonna do it? Well, there's your favorite Pyke.
Well,
they stole it away from Vitality too.
Well,
and Poppy.
I don't think that's enough initiation personally, but we'll see what happens. I feel like they can just pick Morgana here, and then the entire idea of picking one guy off is just not going to work.
Yeah, I think Poppy's initiation got a little bit better a few patches ago when her ultimate got changed to pure knockup as opposed to making those targets invulnerable. So it's a little bit better if they can combo that with the Galio, but I still do think it's a little bit of a weakness here.
Can you complete the puzzle for people that might not be in the loop? We'll put the Poppy top lane, the Taliyah jungle, the Galio mid, and then Kai'Sa and Pyke in the bottom lane.
Yep.
All right.
I think picking Shen here is actually pretty bad. I feel like the entire idea that Misfits has is just pick one guy off with like Poppy charging and Pyke hooking the guy, and I feel like Black Shield would just completely like counter like everything they're trying to do, especially because the magic damage to follow up is follow up. That's my point. So I can't break it.
I think Misfits' whole game plan is to just play through bot, because I think when you have Galio, Taliyah, and you also have double TP with Pyke, I think your dive bot is decent, and Swain early on, it's a dangerous thing to gank, I would imagine, once he hits level 6.
I mean, when he hits 6, but pre-6, he's really a free kill, you know?
Yeah, so
Taliyah especially, very good at ganking.
I mean, I just heard from Ender that this is the best bottom lane in the league, right? So.
Yeah. I absolutely think it is. In this game, especially like with Hansama on the Kai'Sa, the Pyke too for Mikyx, that's the playmakers we want to see them on. And typically Misfits play through this bottom lane. They look for kills early on.
Huge game, huge win on the board for either team. Post pick the man predictions, Lupo?
I think Vitality has the advantage here. I don't see. I mean, maybe if Mikyx smurfs again, he gets a lot of good engages, then yeah, maybe. But I don't think they're gonna reliably get engages off the Poppy.
So Vitality for you, Thaddeus?
I agree with Rippo. I think that Vitality won the draft on this case, but my vote is still with Misfits, simply due to I think that their early game execution is more reliable.
And
I'm on the side of Misfits too. I really like the setup for Hansama and Mikyx in the bottom lane, and don't think that Vitality are going to be able to shut them down.
I believe in Vitality. That's 2-2 for the analysts, but a very exciting game up on the cards. Will Misfits go 8-0, or will Vitality break the winning streak? We'll find out in just a second. Let's go over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Shox. I'm still joined by Deficio. I'm still Medic myself as well, and we're going to jump onto Summoner's Rift for the final game of the day. It's the marquee matchup. It's Misfits, the undefeated, versus Vitality.
Yeah.
The upcoming upstarts, I guess.
I guess, yeah, overall with this new lineup here, still, what a crazy draft. Almost felt like Misfits kind of ran out of options for how they could use the Galio, because as Whippo and the guys in the analysis talked a lot about, like, they don't have the easy engage tool that sets up a Galio ulti.
Yeah.
It feels like it's Hansama jumping in with then Galio going in onto him if they want to get to the backline very easily. But there's a lot of pick potential, mainly because they have Taliyah jungle and, of course, the Pyke for Mikyx. This could be one of the big games for him. Meanwhile, I feel like with Vitality, if you ever needed ways to start fights, well, you got them right there.
Yeah, you've got a few. You know, you've got the Call of the Forge God, you've got the Paranoia, you've got Sleepy Trouble Bubble, you've got Swain with the Never Move, you've got Jactroll with the Taunt.
The amount of CC, man, they can change so much CC in these big 5-on-5 teamfights, and whenever you do split up against the Nocturne, Joko showed earlier today when he played it in Giants win over G2, how you can just catch people up so easily. We get an invade level 1, and we get a spicy tweet from Yamada Cannon as well.
Said happy that Misfits beat G2 so we can abolish all doubt in one game about who is going to be at the top at the end of this split. Vitality trying to abolish all doubt about whose jungle this is as well. They start off the red buff. Taunt lands. There's a lot of damage already onto Maxlore. Hits the flash away. The ignite down as well, but can't quite get in range. Gilius flashes forward. It's jungler v jungler. And the German Wonder Kid comes out on top. Gilius with burst block.
Maxlore wanted to land some poke while waiting for Sencux to move down and collapse onto them. It's a crazy level 1. It's not over yet, but it is Gilius with first blood and the red buff, so he's now ahead of Maxlore. What a great start in the 1v1 jungle battle.
So good for Vitality and so good for Gilius as well. He gets the bragging rights, he gets the red buff. He's going to go up towards his top side as well, secure himself that scuttle grab, and then go towards red to make sure.
Oh, he could go for blue if he wanted to. If he wanted to be super annoying. And the problem for him is the top lane is pushing against him. He can't do it. There's no flash. Alphari would kill him. So he has to just settle for the Rift Scuttler. Got a little bit greedy there. I was like, oh yeah, just go straight to Nilla Camp and kill him again. But would be too risky. you can already see Alphari actually move down from top lane.
We already have a first for this split. It's the first time Misfits have ever given up first blood this split. Perhaps will be the first time they lose as well.
Let's see. So I think the call here for Maxlore is, hey, let's try and keep them occupied, land a little bit of poke, and then have Sencux come down. Because Sencux goes mid first to push the wave. So that right now, Jiizuke potentially could be losing out on a lot of experience if this entire wave stays there for too long and gets to go to the turret. But because of the flash taunt, Maxlore drops too low, and while Vitality spent a lot of flashes, they do pick up first blood plus red. Question is, can we get an early gank from Maxlore against a no-flash target? And then he can suddenly actually make the level 1 probably not worth it.
So then you have to look for lanes that will set him up, because he doesn't have the flash himself, so flash seismic shove isn't on the cards. You're looking for CC from his lane. Something like the Pyke in the bottom lane is an ideal target.
Yeah, I mean, all the lanes for him right now could actually set it up. Galio taunt mid, Pyke of course in bot lane. There is cleanse on Jiizuke, that's important. Fun fact, with the bottom lane, first time they actually get to play Kai'Sa and Pyke. Of course, Kai'Sa was not available in the European playoffs last split, and Hansama's played all the other AD carries that are viable in the meta, except for this one, so we're gonna have to see how we can play with it. Maxlore is near the bottom side. That's where there is no flash on Jactroll, so there is a chance to set up a kill against him. Mikyx can flash in and guarantee the stun.
Maxlore waiting in the wings, but he's just going to be doing his
he's too low as well.
Himself. Yeah, we saw Attila and Jactroll as well getting the scuttle crab for themselves. So he's trying to deny as much from Maxlore as possible. We've both talked about how he thinks Nocturne is the better of the two jungle picks between Nocturne and Taliyah. Seems to be working out for Vitality.
Yeah, he made it very clear. Pre-6, Taliyah does have the advantage. After level 6, however, there's so much kill pressure from a Nocturne. And with this start, Gilius gets to completely avoid the first few levels. Maxlore is not a factor in the game right now. He's trying to catch up. So this is the perfect start for a Nocturne, who already wants to just hit level 6 and then look for a big kill.
Across the board, very even for these lanes. Only really Gilius has the advantage, and if you want to watch one of the lanes, it's Attila in the bottom lane that we have on our point of view camera today. Twitch.tv/RiotGames2 if you want to see how he pilots the Swain alongside Jactroll's Shen as well. I believe we will get a sneak peek into that POV stream pretty soon as well.
Meanwhile, I'm just looking at the rest of the map here. Maxlore level 3, no camps for him to take. Tough spot to be in. Gilius has a Grump still on the bottom side, so he's going to be level 5 after that next camp. And Maxlore is still waiting for stuff to respawn. He's also spotted by a good ward from Cabochard, so at the moment, Vitality are doing a great job in the early game. And that was one of the things when we looked at this at the start of the day, was we looked at two of the best early game teams in Europe fighting each other. So the level 1 plan and how they're tracking Maxlore now has been perfect from Vitality, and they're really just waiting for Gilius to hit that level 6 mark. We mentioned how we have ulti from a Nocturne, ulti from an Ornn. Like, it is impossible to avoid the fight if you are a Misfit. So they're the ones who needs to be proactive themselves if they want to properly use Galio ult.
And the difficulty with being proactive is they don't have all of those engage tools that Whipper was talking about on the analyst desk.
It's Alphari charging in, or it is Hansama able to reach the backline with Mikyx. Because that's the thing with Pyke, you're squishy, but you can't always get to the backline because you have so much mobility, you're just going to die very quickly if you stay.
You have that invisibility as well with the Ghost Water Dive, so running onto that backline, trying to get something to happen, and then getting the extra resistances from Sencux on the hero's entrance.
And all the things we're highlighting with the lack of clear engage makes the comp very hard to play. And that's kind of the thing. A draft can look really bad if the team is not executing it properly. See what happens bottom side.
Jactroll lands the taunt, pull back
That's
on Hansama as well, the Ignite. Hansama first to fall in it, and Mikyx cannot defend his AD carry.
This is why a lot of people do not want to give away Swain if you want to play traditional AD carry in the bottom lane, because the moment he gets onto you, his damage is so high, and the double CC from taunt into pullback from a Swain means that you're stuck there taking all the damage. And another great moment for Vitality, and I hope everyone who jumped over to the stream to watch Attila play this one got to enjoy the second kill.
Well, we can have a look at how Attila's reacting after the kill. You can see in your bottom left corner.
Oh, he's pushing.
Yeah, he's pushing the lane. He does play in windowed mode, so it's important that you notice the black bars around the edge of the screen, and purely because he doesn't want to play at the full resolution of the monitor that he has. Oh, CS, one CS. Can he? Two?
Yeah, normally when we do this,
he missed it. Oh.
Cannon? Oh, we didn't get to see Mr. Cannon.
Maybe he gets it. You never know. Gilius starting up the Infernal here is level 5. We'll be looking to get that level 6 pretty soon. Maxlore is on the bottom side of the jungle as well, so maybe we'll see Misfits try and react. Maxlore actually hits 6 first. Here comes the possibility of an engage. Weaver's Wall used, Seismic Shove knocks him away as well, but the Infernal Drake's still there. Vitality won't want to give this one up. You can see Attila trying to get onto the back line. Goes Demon, Gilius gets the smite fight, and Vitality are coming up huge in this fight as well. Call of the Forge God lands across them all. 5v5, one down. Jactroll, the burst to fall. Jiizuke knocked away. Attila running for the hills. Cabochard caught out by Hansama. The flash in by Maxlore. 2 kills to Misfits.
Maxlore needed 2 more seconds on his smite. He didn't have 2 more seconds because Gilius just flashed in and took it. But that meant Vitality couldn't really fight. No level 6 on the Nocturne. Maxlore got it from the red buff. He just focused on catching up in experience. Perfect timing with the fight as well. And Alphari joined and landed a great poppy ulti to just deny the rest of Vitality. This was 2-0 just 30 seconds ago, and Vitality in full control. They were getting the Drake. They had the advantage. But after this play where Maxlore is 6, he gets in to the Dragon area, and now all of Vitality, they're not ready to fight. Zoe's still mid lane. Ornn is not TP'd down yet. Let's look at the smite cooldown. Of course, it's cheating a little bit in the spectator one, but as you can see, just needing about 1 more second. No way to really take the fight, though, for Vitality, because they lose a member instantly. The backline of Misfits are completely safe, and that ulti from Alphari makes sure that no one can actually save Cabochard.
Great stuff all around by Misfits. To react was a 5v5 brawl in the river, and really, Misfits probably think they come out on top of it, although Vitality get the Infernal Drake, which is always a benefit to a team that likes to fight as often as Vitality do.
I mean, this was supposed to be just an Infernal Drake for nothing,
That's
right?
True.
So Misfits picking up 2 kills, while they still lost Drake, is definitely worth it for them. They were in a tough spot before here, especially because they were losing the bottom lane. And that only gets worse, by the way, when Swain is level 6. Because then, if you try and auto-attack him, he pops ulti, he laughs at you, he one-shots you. And you're just like, yeah, great, nice life. See what happens.
Both bot lanes have decided to switch up towards the top side of the map. That's why Alphari is down in this bottom side river. It's because there's no dragon left for them to fight over, so Rift Herald will be the next objective.
It is true, and that's why also Gilius on top side could be super effective for Vitality, because there's no flash on Hansama. That should be a kill for his team if he does use ulti there. For now, he's on bottom lane though. Misfits sitting around can start the Rift Herald instantly, because they got all the control wards up here. I think Vitality are too slow on swapping to the other side of the map. They should be on this side here contesting this.
Maxlore has started
They're on their way.
As you say, they're on their way. Gilius needs to get some vision in that river, though, because otherwise Maxlore's going to be able to get the Herald before he can even react. You can see Gilius maybe looking for something in
now.
the mid lane. Rift Herald down to about 4,000. Gilius doesn't know this is happening.
It's resetting.
Oh, Maxlore.
They reacted in time. Misfits did not want to use all members to try and burn it down as fast as possible. He's starting it again. Gilius should be aware that he hasn't seen the Taliyah in a while.
The ping. There's the ping coming out on it. I think they realize now that it's probably being done. There's so much work around there as well for
yeah, he's like,
Maxlore.
I wonder what's happening here.
Gilius just going to clear out the vision, though. Rift Herald not done by Misfits.
So some time wasted in the end for Maxlore. Vitality looking for a play topside. Again, we highlighted Hansama, no flash on his side. If you get the kill into Rift Herald, it's a massive advantage for Vitality. Whenever you play Nocturne, long cooldown on that ulti. It's one of those spells where if you do fail the first one, oh, it feels horrible.
It definitely does. And I was actually talking to Jactroll about the Shen support pick as well. He says if you fail the first Shen support ulti as well, you don't get more than just a kill out of it. You don't get more than just a small objective out of it. It's actually not worth playing Shen support. So looking to see how he uses that first ultimate now that he's hit level 6 and has the Stand United, probably in conjunction with Gilius when they go for that fight.
Yeah, that is of course the all-in combo. Hopefully you get more than a kill just from that one, obviously when it happens or if it happens. Luckily you don't have to do it. I think a lot of Shen support players have found out is you can just peel with Shen because your W is so strong, especially against people who like to play AD carries.
Yep.
In this case here, luckily for Kai'Sa, there's ways for her to kind of deal damage around it with her abilities. But generally though, as a Shen, you don't have to dive the backline with your team, because Gilius, he will go in and try and one-shot someone every time, and after he's done that, as long as you keep Jiizuke and Attila alive, you still win the fight.
Yet to see Vitality pull the trigger on that paranoia, though. You can see Mikyx catches out Jiizuke. Jiizuke unwilling to burn his flash.
The power of Pyke here sneaks his way through the mid lane. Didn't even have to come in from a side or anything. Jiizuke had flash available, but didn't want to use it when he saw the hook. And then you die. instantly. Great pick, and this is why Mikyx is one of the most important players on Misfits' side, because he makes the plays. He forces the enemy team to always try and respect where he can be on the map. Now it's around the Rift Herald. Kai'Sa is around. Sencux might actually sneak behind him. He can flash over the wall in case they stay.
I think Vitality have realized that they don't know where the Poppy is. Could quite easily be 5 members of Misfits up here.
And this should have been Gilius ulting on top side, killing the Kai'Sa, taking the Rift Herald, but Misfits bot lane played passive. They stayed back. They didn't want to give that chance. And now you're level 8. You haven't used your ulti yet on the Nocturne side, and you did not take that window you had to actually kill the enemy AD carry.
We've talked so often about how strong Misfits are in the early game. Even after a setback at level 1, they're still able to come out on top. Coming up to the 15-minute mark, it's even in gold. They have the Rift Herald in their back pocket, so they can look to try and take that first tower of the game.
And well, bottom side, Gilius will steal a red buff. Hard for him to tower dive a Poppy. Luckily, if he does go for it, there is only magic resist on her, so his damage will count for a lot. But it's hard to get close enough to actually take her down in time. Also, then you have to dodge around her ulti. I'm still also looking for the Swain pick. 2 assists, he got that first kill, or kill with Jactroll in the bot lane. But Misfits dual lane are just giving up all pressure, which is one of the first times they've done this, all split long. They normally are the ones pushing, but because they know they can lose this matchup so hard to Vitality, they're staying back and they're giving up everything in the lane.
It's not costing them too much at the moment, though. Like, stepping back, scaling up on the Kai'Sa, getting up towards that Ginsu's Rage Blade isn't the end of the world for them. Infernal Drake has been started here by Vitality as the teleport comes in from Misfits. It's Pyke joining the fray, but now he's not in the best of spots. Can, of course, just leap over the wall.
Exactly. Stop the Infernal, though. I'm glad we get Infernals in this game, so both teams are fighting around them.
Well, yesterday you said you loved Cloud Drakes, though.
In that one game.
Okay.
Against Poke, Cloud is great. Let's see what happens, though. We might get a fight, actually. Jiizuke is caught out.
Once again, not in the best of shapes. Uses the redemption on himself. There's a call of the Forge God. They've engaged straight on towards that front line. That's the combo you want to see if you're Vitality. Mikyx goes down.
Jiizuke baited everyone. They thought they could just jump in and try and force him to flash over the wall. Instead, the Pyke gets caught out. That was a massive engage from Vitality. They get a second Infernal Drake on their side with multiple members scaling so well of AD or AP. Big deal for Team Vitality, and I would say worth it on the Nocturnal.
They burnt a bunch for it, though. Call of the Forge God, Demonic Ascension from Attila, and the Paranoia as well from Gilius.
You get second Infernal.
Yeah, you get second Infernal. We take it every day of the week, but does mean Misfits have a chance here to maybe make a play while those ultimates are still down. We'll see if they decide to do that, or if they still concede the pressure as they have been doing for the rest of this game.
You have to remember that it's, again, forcing a straight-up fight is difficult. They're more looking to force plays in the side lanes, where they can use Galio ult from mid to a side. Jiizuke might offer an opening in mid to go with the Rift Herald. That's obviously the one they picked up earlier. Will take a bit of time before it gets there.
They have to clear the way first, otherwise the Herald has to do it herself. Jactroll. Looks like Misfits just set up a death bush up towards the top side of that and called out Jactroll unaware.
Yeah, he got so surprised. That should be a mid lane turret as well. Misfits instantly answering here despite losing the Drake and Mikyx from before. Good response.
Yeah, great stuff from Misfits. We said they had the opportunity while those ultimates were down, and they utilized it to great effect.
They got way more than I expected. Yeah. I thought their maximum just get a mid lane turret, nothing more, but taking down Jactroll as well, that's a bonus, because look who got the kill. It's Hansama.
Yeah, getting him those kills early on the Kai'Sa is great. Expect him to go back and pick up the Ginsus, and here you can see Jactroll. Oh!
Didn't even have to face shake anything. He just got pulled over the wall by Mikyx.
The skewer to the back. That would be pretty painful.
It definitely would.
Especially one made of bone.
But to be fair, there's a lot of things in this game that would really hurt in real life if it hit you.
It's true. I should think about, like, that would be a good game to play at some point. Just think about how much things would hurt.
Yeah, like getting hit by Pyke is probably one of the things that will hurt the least.
Okay, so what do you think would hurt the most initially?
Karthus ult. You're literally getting lightning in your face.
See, I think Malphite ult. Because that's a mountain coming down, like, exploding on top of you.
Okay, that probably also would. Yeah, that would hurt a lot. This one, again, is kind of nothing.
Yeah, but as a human getting a bone skewer to the back, it's probably pretty painful.
Yes.
Never experienced it myself. Maxlore,
a mountain as well.
It's got a seismic shove in here. Jactroll able to dodge around to the side, but the seismic shove and the pull back. Here comes the Paranoia from Gilius in the midst of the whole fight. Call of the Forge God used to try and reset it by Vitality, but now Cabochard is on the front line. Jiizuke coming in from the side as well, needs to land these paddle stars if he's able to win this fight. Exhaust. Sencux knocked away onto the Vitality members, but Jactroll comes back in with a taunt. It's only onto Alphari. They just don't have the damage. Jactroll down. Jiizuke running for the hills. He's trying to dodge back from Sencux. Flash, taunt, cleanse straight away from Jiizuke.
Lack of damage is the key word here after all the big ultis. Oh,
Oh, Jiizuke jumps back in.
He's still looking for it.
He's playing with portals, Deficio.
Didn't hit the bubble. Nope, that... Yeah.
Didn't know where Sencux was, so he
That's
expected
true.
Sencux to be running down past his blue buff.
And he knew he could always jump back. Again, looking for more. Nope, still not finding anyone. In the end, big ult is used in the start. After that, Gilius had to flash out. And when Jiizuke joined, no one could really continue the fight from Vitality's side. No one could actually get in and get the kill. So in the end, is Jactroll going down. He is still not that tanky on a Shen here. Very, very close game. Super back and forth. We still have to remember double Infernal on Vitality. They're down 1k gold, sure. But in terms of effective stats, those Drakes are going to give way more.
In terms of scaling as well, we gave it to Vitality, and if they were able to get to... actually,
that was last game.
That was last game. Yeah, that was Giants. Yeah, Hansama probably scales pretty well in this game.
It definitely does.
Yeah, maybe a balance between the two.
I think so much of it comes down to the initial engage, if it's Vitality starting it when it comes to late game fights. Yeah. If Gilius is unable to actually kill a target when he jumps in, Misfits takes the fight in the late game. We're not there yet. We're only 18 minutes into this.
Wow, that's
one.
pretty late for current EU LCS.
That's true. Mikyx still around. Yes, he got it.
Oh, good job.
Support war. See, that's why you feel great as a support. In front of two people, you kill a control ward.
I mean, when I'm playing Pyke, I feel pretty good when I steal all the kills. Let's be honest.
That's fair. For me, it's more I start the control ward, they move in to stop me. I step away, they think they won the war for a moment. I step back and I kill it, I moon, and I walk out.
That's the mooning.
That's the great play.
Making a mistake, Deficio.
That's the great play.
I want to just bring our attention back to one of the unsung heroes on this Misfit lineup, though. Alphari has been so consistent throughout the course of this split. First in KDA, first in kills and assists at 15 minutes, least deaths at 15. Hasn't died before the 15-minute mark in any of his games. Only has 3 deaths, I think, across the course of the entire split. And although he gives up some pressure in the lane to play these tanks, he's doing everything he needs to for Misfits.
He's doing it for the team, and that's why you don't get to talk so much about him, because he is just on that tank so often. He's left a bit on his own while Misfits are playing around mid and bot lane with Maxlore. So he's just been kind of the backbone, the very solid, consistent player who almost never makes a mistake. And that's important when you're playing a tank, because that's what your team needs, and he's someone who does not lose that side of the map where you don't want to play. This game he's done well on the Poppy, good ulti so far, but Vitality, they're grouping 5-man mid. They're looking at that turret right in front of them. Sadly, you can't really use the Nocturne ult right here. You want a more open fight.
Okay, so great stuff from Mickey here to actually zone away Vitality from Hansama, because all that needed to happen was a paddle start to come out and Jiizuke would have taken down the French AD carry. Now, you can still see Vitalities are playing towards this group 5 mid composition. They're going to bring out the call of the Forge God. Hits Alphari, pulls him back. Gilius jumps in, can't quite get enough damage. Now Jactroll there as well, and that is a dead Hansama, but Gilius loses his life for it. Jactroll running for the wins as well, alongside Jiizuke, trying to get out of this fight. Jiizuke from the side, the paddle star does not connect. That's 2 for Misfits. Attila, though, goes into the demon form and chunks out 2 Misfits, losing out on this fight, and they're running up towards the top side of it. Jiizuke looking for the paddle star across the wall, won't quite connect. The sleep will, though, onto Alphari, and this may be his 4th death of the split. Not much he can do. You can only tank for so long, my man. Vitality clean up.
And just before this, when Vitality was sieging, we said here you can't really use the Nocturne ulti, so they backed away, they stepped away, and suddenly it was a very long lane, and then you call the horn with Ornn, and then you get the engage from Gilius, and you actually manage to kill Hansama in the back line. We have to remember, during that Nocturne ult, it's really hard to peel for your backline. You don't see anything, you can't properly use the Galio ult either. This is how Vitality plays in the summer split. It's not 1-3-1 split push with Jiizuke, it's 5-man group. Dive the enemy team. Ulti not used by Sencux yet, because again, he's denied vision in this fight. And therefore, he loses his AD carry. He loses the entire fight, because we gotta remember, after the initial engage, there is still a Swain and a Zoe sitting on the side of Vitality, able to deal the consistent DPS.
That's the thing, if Taliyah and Kaiser are dead, you just don't have damage as Misfits. So it doesn't matter how many people it takes to kill them. As long as either the Zoe or the Swain are alive, Misfits, Vitality should be able to win out the fight.
And the appeal from Misfits is Galio ulti or Poppy ulti. Those are like the 2 tools you have. It's really hard to know where you're ulting as a Poppy when you can't see anything doing Nocturne ult. It's really hard as a Galio, if you're not right next to your AD carry, to actually peel and use your abilities to save him. So Vitality's Nocturne pick alone already makes it difficult for Hansama to play and stay alive. There was talks in the pick and ban phase from the analyst desk about things like Morgana could have come in here, the Black Shield could have been a key thing for him. time. Kench was available, I believe, in the draft. It would have been a very different setup all of a sudden, and also can be difficult to use against Nocturne. So there is really not a lot of ways you prevent Vitality from reaching your backline. Question is, can you survive for long enough? This is actually the kind of game where I want Hourglass on Kai'Sa.
You can, of course, build AP on Kai'Sa. That's what we've been seeing a lot in the sort of recent patches. 8.12, 8.13 is all about this AP Kai'Sa going towards the Nash's Tooth next, then Rabadon's or the Zhonya's Hourglass, as you say. Turret goes down in the bottom lane. It looks like actually Gilius might be starting up the Baron by himself. He's standing there. Maxlore's not on this side of the map. Does have the Weaver's Wall if he wants to come across. There's the far side alteration to spot them out. Jiizuke looking for a little bit more damage onto it with the Paddle Star. Mikyx has the flank with the teleport. Now, Misfits. We've seen Mikyx flank perfectly in the past. There's the call of the Forge Guard. Paranoia comes out as well.
In there.
All jumped on towards the Kai'Sa. Hansama running for his life, but he will get taken out by Gilius, and that's one down for Vitality. He will fall as well. Still a 1-for-1 trade. Attila comes in with the Demonic Ascension, but the Weaver's Wall will cut him out of that fight, and Vitality only trade 1-for-1.
It's the same 1-for-1 though. Gilius always tries to get a kill onto Hansama. Fight continues.
They keep pulling Cabochard. Alphari with the taunt on that backline. Jactroll all caught up, but it doesn't matter. He's too tanky. Hero's Entrance comes in to save Alphari. The double knock of Jactroll eventually will pull double Cabochard. Great stuff here from Alphari and Sencux, playing the fight of their lives. Attila though and Jiizuke, the two carries left alive for Vitality. Once again, it's Alphari. It's the Englishman who's carrying Misfits through this fight. Gets another kill for them, and Alphari comes up huge.
Hansama TP straight into the...
Goodbye, Italian Stallion. Hello, Sencux.
Oh, this is straight to Baron. This is Gilius' chance. He lost so many of them last split. Maxlore stole them from him. Sencux will kill this one. There is no flash for the Nocturne.
No way for Gilius to get into that fight. That's the Baron for Misfits, and they have come alive in this game. Baron, 5,000 gold ahead, 25 minutes in. They're looking to break down Vitality.
These fights are so close. Hansama will always die when Gilius jumps in at this point in the game. It's the 5-man engage. Once again, the Death Ball coming in. He goes down. You can't use the Galio ult properly.
Great stuff, though, from Gilius. As you say, you can't use the Galio ult properly. Means he has to use it at the end of the fight. But look at Alphari and look at Attila in this fight.
Yeah, the really important thing was the ulti from Alphari, knocking a Swain away that was about to unleash onto everyone. Did not happen. He had to walk back in. Ulti disappeared. And now he's not as scary. That's why they can go in for a re-engage. They actually ignore the Swain as well, because they're just trying to take down all the different tanks around them. And eventually, Poppy and Galio with Maxlore behind them, it's enough damage to kill the front line.
Alphari just consistently getting these knockbacks into the wall as well. The stun connects, and you can see flashes in, stuns right at the tip. And then a hammer shot is enough to take out Attila in the end. I mean, it's Maxlore who's getting the shutdown kills, but it's Alphari that's doing all the work, and Jiizuke steps way too far forward at the end. Flash taunt, maybe just didn't think Sencux had his flash left. Misfits with that get the Baron. You can see who needs an AD carry. All you need is a tank top laner to win you fights.
Oh, they're going again!
Gilius actually we're going to jump on towards Sencux here. Not usually the target you see, but Vitality just trying to take whatever they can find. Alphari's up towards the top side of this fight. Sencux down to about half. Now Vitality needs to disengage, because here comes the hammer and knocks back Attila. Alphari will look for the knockback into the wall here if he can get it as well. Steadfast presence into the midst of all of Vitality. Hero's Entrance will come down and stop Cabochard as well. He's going to be sacrificed to the back of the team. Mikyx lands the knockback onto Jiizuke. The death from below alongside Sencux is enough. The Misfits are cleaning up these fights.
Yeah, big problem for Vitality is the fact that Hansama's bought a stopwatch, which means he will no longer die when Gilius jumps in. So they tried to pick a new target. You picked the Galio. Not going to happen. You're not going to kill him in time. And that now means you actually run out of damage in these fights, because every time Attila tries to carry with his ult, Alphari knocks him away.
And with that, Misfits will be able to break in towards the base of Vitality as well. The first inhibitor will fall. The game just exploded to life after a single mid lane fight, it feels. Across the course of this game, we've seen the fights slowly skew in favor of Misfits, and now they are absolutely on top.
Yeah, that last fight we had where they traded at first Gilius for Hansama, and then after Misfits won into the ban, that's really the one that got this entire advantage for them. The one right after with just one kill, obviously, they already now have the items they need. They have abilities, or sorry, they have items That just means that when the initial engage happens, you just press Hourglass or Stopwatch. You wait 2 seconds, Nocturne ulti will start disappearing, and then you turn around to fight. Double Soul Stealer as well on their side.
That's a little bit of swag. That's a little bit of undefeated swag right there.
Much better item now as well compared to in the past, because you do actually get the bonus from it much earlier. I believe it's already on 10 stacks, or is it 15?
I think it's 10, but you will check that for us.
I will definitely check it for you, and yes, it is indeed.
10, you get 10% movement speed.
Yep, so 10 stacks. It is already in place for Sencux.
You can sense it though. You know what's going to happen after the game. Maxlore's going to walk up to Gilius and be like, mate, 20 stacks on my Medjais at the end of that game. That's how you win the banter battle.
It is actually true.
Between the junglers.
If you win with a Soul Stealer fully stacked,
well,
you are officially the coolest person in the world.
Cash money in my Soul Stealer.
You know what I miss? I miss the very old item called Leviathan.
Oh, such a good item.
The stacking tank item gave you HP.
There was an AD one of those as well. I've forgotten its name. Sort of the Occult.
Yes.
That was what it was called. Such a good item. Now, once again, Misfits just trying to siege this tower. There is poke from Vitality. Always have to be aware that Jiizuke can nuke someone if he catches them out with that Paddle Star. Misfits will take their 7th tower of the game. With it, a 10,000 gold lead, Deficio.
And you're correct, and you have to
Good words.
All right.
Whippo was in the last game.
That's true. Yeah, I learned from you. You have to, of course, be fully aware of the fact that Jiizuke can nuke you down. It just won't really happen. It's not happening in the summer split. This is not the split of Jiizuke. This is really the rest of Vitality who's trying to carry.
You know what's good against poke though, Deficio?
Yeah.
Cloud Drakes.
It's true.
Misfits just got their first Cloud Drake. There's another Cloud Drake coming up next, and I know you are our resident Cloud Drake enthusiast.
You know the thing that tilts me the most is that stupid picture is on every lower third with my name.
As soon as you said it yesterday, I had that specially made for us for the cast, in case we got double clouds.
Well, Cloud Drake, yeah.
Oh baby.
What a Drake.
No, that's Water Drake. That's Ocean Drake.
Movement speed is nice.
It is nice, especially when you're trying to get away from a Nocturne who is jumping on towards your face.
Yeah, but then you're in combat almost instantly. I mean,
yeah, but Cloud Drake still works in combat now.
That's true.
Extra little
up to date here on the new patch. Because I love Cloud Drakes.
I know you do. Cloud Drake enthusiast. Anyway, Misfits. 8,000 gold ahead, almost 9,000 at the moment. Stacking up those Medjai Soul Stealers. Basically, just looking to break open the base.
Stacking them up, baby.
Oh, yeah. Looking to break open the next inhibitor here from Vitality. Baron buff has worn off. They're clearing out all the vision Vitality has. They're not going for a 1-4, which is what I expected them to, although it looks like Alphari might be going down towards that bottom lane now. Just trying to group up and maybe catch out Vitality. I
mean, if you do split up, Nocturne will get a chance to force a fight where you can't react in time. So if you stay 5 as Misfits, at this point, I don't think you should be able to lose. Alphari's ulti will always get rid of at least one member on the side of Vitality. Nocturne cannot one-shot anyone other than, what, the Pyke? No, he can just jump away.
Yeah, it's true. It's very difficult as soon as you get those Zhonyas, as you say, to actually catch out anyone. Hans Summer went for the Banshees, has the stopwatch in case he does get caught out. Banshees will help him so much against Jiizuke, against Cabochard's engage, against any engage from Jactroll as well. Baron up in 45 seconds. You feel that's the last hope here for Vitality.
Oh, look at Alphari on the side.
Here we go.
Oh, he didn't do anything.
I looked at him, and I was expecting movement. He moved quicker than usual, though, because of Cloud Drake.
It's true. That could have set up a great engage.
See, that's what you were thinking of. You didn't actually care if he engaged. It was like, look at him, he's got the little wind particle behind him.
That's the part
Ooh, that's what
I want to highlight there. Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to engage. Yeah. Alphari uses only defensive ults.
Look at Hans Summer at the side.
Oh, he's so quick.
Gusty.
Wait. Pyke engage? Anyone engage? No.
No, Flash, Bone Skewer is a possibility. Mickey misses it onto Cabochard, places the pink ward in the bush. Jactroll's on his way up here as well. First, it's on Alphari. He's going to run in. Paranoia used. Sencux is in that front line though. Gilius jumps into the midst of it all. Call of Forge got used. Gilius has to jump away. And now Alphari will knock back Jactroll and get the engage in that he needs. Attila already down to half. Jiizuke jumps in, pulled back with the skewer. And that might be a skewer through the heart of Vitality. Hans Summer goes down though, and Vitality have their shot. They have a chance here to win this fight, but you can still see the tanks alive for Misfits. Mickey has to jump away towards the top of the fight, but Sencux caught in the midst of it all, and he is done for. Alphari at full health, but Misfits losing 2 men.
Such a big mistake from Hansama. He still has flash and everything. He stepped too close, popped the stopwatch, and then once he got out, he was still in range of Attila's ulti. Fight might not be fully over yet, but the fact that Hansama managed to die here despite avoiding the first initial engage, not good enough. He's picking this Kai'Sa here. He got to late game. His team has been protecting him and winning fights for him all game long. And now it's time they need him to start carrying. He's the one who's supposed to deal all the damage. Sencux lost his stacks. Down to 2 on the Soul Stealer. It's a disaster. See it again though. All in engage from Vitality. Kind of last chance. Have to win this one. If they lose here, the base is gone completely. And initial start is actually fine, but look how Gilius instantly has to jump out. And now just pay attention to the Kai'Sa. Hansama is right in the middle of your screen, dealing damage for now. But notice, actually, never mind. We put right back on. He died, everyone. That's what happened.
Gilius doesn't have the ultimate. No flash on him either, and the Baron's gone. So, that was quick.
We killed the replay just to see Baron die.
I mean, it is important for us to see Baron die.
It's actually a production trick to save your star players. We don't show them mistakes.
Oh, it's true.
So, notice how we showed him dealing great amounts of damage.
I can never remember Hansama ever dying, actually.
We saw him deal all the damage there you see on your screen. Perfect positioning, dancing around, and then we cut away.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Production tricks.
We did the same with Reckless, which is why we haven't seen him for a little while.
Oh, I miss Reckless.
I miss him as well.
Yet you made fun of him. He's not even here.
Oh, yeah, that was a low blow. I apologize.
You are a bully.
I apologize. Let's get back onto the game at hand. Misfits 9,000 gold ahead, have the Baron for themselves as well. 3 minutes left on that buff. Something we didn't talk about is the fact that Vitality can get these Ornn upgraded items if they want. So as the game does progress, they will have a slight lead if they ever get towards those 6 items.
And you know what they got?
Double Infernal!
No Cloud Breaks, but they do have double Infernal on their side. So that is another little advantage. And important to highlight, the stopwatch is gone on the side of Hansama. That was used in the last one. He still died right after. So Gilius actually will have a chance to return to the first 15 minutes of one-shot the Kai'Sa as often as possible. There's a Banshee to protect him a little bit, but that should still not be enough if Gilius gets onto him. So there is an opening here for Vitality in the next few fights.
Sencux is not in this fight. You feel like...
I actually really just wanted Hourglass and not Banshees instantly. Just rush the Hourglass there.
I understand that.
It's okay.
It's not what he's done. Bone Skewer used onto Jactroll. Sencux pushing up the mid lane as well. Inhibitor has respawned there. Jiizuke trying to clear out the wave and just dodge around. All they're trying to do is mitigate this Baron buff for the moment. If Vitality can last through this, maybe they can last long enough to survive in this game. Sencux now pushed in all of the mid wave.
Yeah, there's an open inhib there. Maxlore will just zone them off the turret. Should be another one then for Misfits. At this point here, might not even look over. We get the fight.
Forcing the fight. Call of the Forge God. The Ram comes down, but immediately stopped.
Oh, here's no vision of Hansama.
Hansama down towards the bottom side in a superb position. Will rejoin the fight. Maxlore gets one. Now Alphari is in the midst of them all. Hansama jumps in. The killer instinct kicking in. You can feel that the knockups and the damage is coming. Misfits take 3. Vitality run back to the fountain, and Misfits look to close out this game.
Hansama was sitting in a brush out of vision, so Gilius could not engage onto him. He had to pick a different target. Sadly for Vitality, that just means they lose the fight instantly.
Jiizuke trying to do what he can against all 5 members of Misfits, but even he and Jactroll cannot stem the tide of the Misfits crew. Looking to go undefeated, 8-0 is calling, and Misfits are answering, hello, we're the best in Europe!
And that's when you know that you're truly the best team in your region. When you can take a draft that is very hard to play. You can see that your AD carry is dying a few times to all the engage from the enemy team, and yet other members step up around you. Sencux had a great game. Alphari's ultis in some of those fights were crucial, knocking Attila away. And then Misfits gets that first Baron. That's a big one to get a large goal lead, gives them a bit more time in the game, and then the last team fight, smart play. Nocturne can't hold you if he can't see you.
It's true. It's true. Great positioning from Hansama. Important to note as well, Maxlore finished with 23 stacks on his Medjoy, so didn't quite get it fully stacked. Just needed 2 more. Just a single kill from somewhere would have got him fully stacked. But I still think he has the banter rights over Gilius, who, although a great level 1, a great invade from Vitality, never really showed the performance they showed right at the start.
No, I think this was a very classic Vitality game, you know. Good early game plans, sets the enemy jungler behind, wants to play a comp that can group as 5. They were in the mid lane multiple times looking for plays. They're not playing side lanes, they're playing around mid. And it worked initially in the fights here, but again, I just gotta give it the individual play on the side of Misfits was what saved them, not the draft or anything. The fact that some certain key members in fights could then step up when the AD carry was already dead. Crucial win for them, and yeah, this is one of the big ones. This is one that feels great. This week, they played G2 eSports and Vitality. That's 2 of the teams in the top 4, and they beat both of them.
And they were convincing wins as well. They weren't sort of wins where you win one random team fight at the end and somehow are able to take an inhibitor. In both games, it felt like they knew exactly what they were doing, how they wanted to play their game plan, and it worked out well for them. And you have to remember the player of the vote
I vote for the vote.
Player of the game vote expires in a few minutes, so be sure to give us your favorite at LOL Esports on Twitter. We've narrowed it down to the Englishman Alphari, the Englishman Maxlore, and the Dane Sencux.
Why did you lose energy in the last part?
See, I work with this Danish guy.
Great guy. Let's talk about Misfits, because they're also great.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
We can definitely talk about them all the time, because that's kind of what happens when one team is 8-0.
That's true.
I think nothing really stops them from a 9-0 at the moment, and it's not something we see often.
No.
You already, when we have this kind of setup, longest win streak they've ever had now, you always start thinking back to 2015 and Summer Split Fnatic with Huni Rainover, the 18-0 they had.
We had this discussion earlier, though, and you think Misfits are going to go 16-2, and
it is still very unrealistic you go 18-0, but they're currently beating everyone, and they're playing very well.
Okay, well, for more on today's action, let's head over to Shox and the EU LCS post-game lobby.